Hello everyone, welcome in. This is a really exciting video. We have a lot of new Wet n Wild. We've got new cheek stuff, new lip stuff, I've got new primers, I've even got a new complexion product, which we haven't seen that in a while from Wet n Wild. And let me tell you, I rounded all this stuff up from Walgreens website specifically. And I think the deal was how I kind of stumbled upon that realization. I'd found a couple of new things randomly from Wet n Wild online. I think it was the primers on some of their website, and somehow it occurred to me to check Walgreens.com because usually in that store they've got more things, it seems like, more Wet n Wild than other stores. At least that's the way it seems to work around me. And then I ultimately, when I checked the website, I was like, whoa, there's tons of stuff, and there's this niacinamide skin tint, and I'm so excited. So a lot of this stuff I've dabbled in so far. I've had some really good experiences, but this part of it, this niacinamide skin tint, just came to me yesterday in the mail. So that was kind of like the lingering last part of this. So yeah, let's get started. I've got a couple of primers I'm going to use. First off, we have this Cooling Hydra Depuffer for eye and face. This has caffeine, vitamin E, green tea oil, and hyaluronic acid. And both of these sticks have a little additional cap, which I'm going to keep using because I have noticed with other brands in the past, sometimes these sticks just kind of develop some dryness over time.
The Tooth Fairy came.
The Tooth Fairy, oh, brought you little blueies? How cute.
Yeah.
Nice Tooth Fairy.
Go.
Oh, well.
Oh, and let me check.
Oh, this feels so good. Really cooling on contact. I imagine it would feel even better if this lived in a makeup fridge, but I'm mainly focusing this in on the under eye area. You could use it all over the face if you wanted to, I guess. Definitely added a good bit of moisture there to the under eye area. That's nice. And then I'm going to use this Impossible primer all over the rest of my face. And this is the one silicone-free primer stick that does it all. That's what they say. And they do make the Impossible primer in a squeeze tube, but here we've got this stick. So this stick looks white. It has a smooth feeling. It doesn't have quite the glide or the slip across the skin like the cooling one does. But as I rub it in, it is kind of like rubbing in together. I'm going to put some on my nose. I used this yesterday with Wet n Wild Photo Focus on top, and it looked really good, and I did have good staying power, but I generally do with that product. So we'll just have to continue to use this, continue to pair it with different things, and see what kind of staying power I come out with, but I like the idea of primer sticks. And then this skin tint, it says 24-hour hydration, niacinamide skin tint, 5% niacinamide. It also has hyaluronic acid and peony extract, and I got light medium. It was really hard to tell on the website like which shade I might be. The light looked really light, but as I look at this, I think, well, maybe this is going to be a little deep, but hopefully it's a consistency that's just going to sheer out and work well on my skin regardless. But I'm excited because I feel like it's been a while since we've had a new complexion product from Wet n Wild. We think of the Photo Focus foundations, we think of the Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator. Well, now we have this. And at this time, I've not seen this one anywhere but Walgreens website. So I'm going to give this a little shake. We'll see what kind of consistency we're dealing with. We have the dropper. It seems like it's not a complete water weight, like there is perhaps a little bit of thickness in it. Some got around the opening there, so I'll dab that here. It doesn't fall from the dropper real easily. It kind of reminds me of the L'Oreal in that way. Then I'm going to take my e.l.f. Complexion Duo brush, and we're just going to start spreading this around and see what kind of coverage it has. Trying to figure out what's going on with this one. I feel like the shade is ultimately shearing out to work okay. To me, it's seeming like kind of a classic foundation sort of texture ultimately. Like the dropper makes us think, and the name makes us think, oh, we're going to get something really, really light and liquidy kind of water weight, but I feel like I'm working with blending in a classic liquid foundation type of consistency. I feel like it's not an especially glowy finish across the skin. Like I'm seeing a little glow maybe just from the texture of my skin right now. I did go in well moisturized. I used those two primers, but it doesn't seem that there's anything in this foundation. Like you look up close in the glass bottle and you're not gonna see any bits of luminosity. I'm gonna see if I can build my coverage just a little bit. I feel like I'm experiencing kind of a light to medium coverage out out of it right now. It says delivers a natural, healthy looking finish with a radiant glow, lightweight buildable coverage. Separation may occur, shake well. I'm just adding a little bit in here around the nose and center of the face. Like, to me, the thickness of this, I'm not saying it's, oh, incredibly thick, but you can't even hear it to shake it in the bottle. You know, you're not hearing liquid shaking around. I'm liking the look on the skin. I feel like it's approaching the coverage of Photo Focus. I've never felt like, oh, I can just slap together a foundation review after one use. I just don't think that's possible. I think you have to wear it, you have to use it through a day, through several days, try it with different product combinations, different primers, different concealers, and see how it goes. But I just wanted you to kind of experience this first try with me, and I think what we're dealing with here is an overall lightweight, but not too far off from a classic foundation consistency, light to medium buildable coverage. I do feel like there's kind of a radiance on the skin, but it's not by way of shimmer. I think it's just more so through hydration. So I'm just gonna pull in another Wet n Wild concealer I have. There is not a new Wet n Wild concealer that I know of. So I think I'll just take my Incognito and use this to bump up my coverage in certain spots. Around the nose, under eye. Let me tell you, blush fans, we've got blush in like every consistency you could want. We've got sticks, we've got liquids, we've got new powder blushes from Wet n Wild. They've added to their color icon range. I'm pumped. I was excited to get out of bed and do this video today. And I feel like I am most days. Like I'm eager to get up here and start shooting. But today in particular, new Wet n Wild. That's fun. And I think I just felt like you guys would be excited about it too. So I've just pressed in that Incognito concealer and feeling really good about the overall look of the skin. Incognito, in my experience, has been a concealer that has approached the levels of Shape Tape and like camo concealer and stuff like that. But I sometimes have to use a little bit more of it, I find, to get the coverage that I want. But this looks pretty good. I feel like the underneath product actually did deliver in the coverage department for me. And I'm not feeling like I've got to wear a ton of concealer to kind of level it up to where I want it. Okay, so that's that. And then we're going to put on our Photo Focus Loose Powder. Again, not new, but we're just filling in the blanks. This would be one of my top drugstore loose powders, along with Maybelline Fit Me. I think I've just kind of realized that perhaps Fit Me is just a bit more brightening, maybe. That shade called Fair, just super duper brightening on me. But I'm gonna dab this in on my under eye, get it all set. Set that T-zone as well around the nose. I feel like when I really on purpose get around the nose, I'm literally pressing around my nostrils, I'll end up having really good staying power throughout the day. So last night at cheer, on both the teams, there were a total of 6 kids out sick. So I'm a little scared that like something's coming. Hopefully if we make it through today or tomorrow, I'll be fairly confident that we're not catching this, I guess it's flu B that's going around right now a lot. I do love this loose powder. Anytime I use it, I do feel like the skin looks more flawless after I've blended it out. And look at me picking up after myself. Bear with me here, it's another not new product, and then we're gonna have more blushes than we know what to do with, but I'm pulling out my Wet Shady Beaches Color Icon Bronzer. Have you all noticed too that Wet n Wild has a couple of eyeshadow palettes at Walgreens that seem to not be anywhere else? I think it's called It might be called Always Blushin', Always Nude, or something like that. One's neutral and one's a little bit rosy. Maybe it's called Always Rosy. But they're like square eyeshadow palettes. They're different from the Color Icon usual stuff. And it seems like they're only at Walgreens. And I kind of wish I would have gotten maybe one of those to put in this video, although I think those have been out for at least a year or so. So we're just bronzing up. I love Wet Shady Beaches. A little goes a long way. Makes an impact, you know. Different from a lot of my other drugstore bronzers, just a little more intense. It's more intense than my Hard Candy Instant Summer and Tan. Now, as seems to be the trend in drugstore makeup, we're seeing more of these liquid blushes that are kind of mimicking the intensity of Rare Beauty blushes, and Wet n Wild is getting in on that. They've got their MegaGlo lip and cheek color here in Rosy Romance, and then I also have the shade called Berry True. Okay, so a couple of options there. They've put out their MegaGlo sticks in a couple of new shades, and I also noticed that they repackaged some of their existing shades. So the highlighter stick that we love so much, Where's Walnut, and there's like another shade or two possibly of contour sticks. They still have the blush stick shade that they already had. I can't remember the shade name, but basically they haven't gotten rid of these. They've given them a new packaging design and they've expanded on the blushes. So two new blush shades there. One is called Current Jam and one is called Dusty Pink. Dusty Pink appears to have some shimmer, which is kind of exciting. Looks like that. These sticks, by the way, all in all, any stick in this range, these chubby sticks from Wet n Wild, I think they're all a home run. I love these. So yeah, just some new shades there. They're soft, they're easily blendable. That's cool to see. And then I've got two new shades in the Color Icon pressed powder blushes. So they already had Pearlescent Pink, they already had Mellow Wine. Now they've got Bed of Roses, which I can't say that and think of that name without thinking of the song, I don't need a bed of roses. Is that Faith Hill, right? Tell me. So Bed of Roses, really soft pink, but I think we're gonna see probably even more color translate onto the cheeks when we use that. And then yesterday I used Naked Brown, and I thought this was really pretty too. Toasty, earthy, kind of neutral blush. Ugh, what am I gonna use today? These maybe we'll save for another video. I can tell you with confidence that it's a good formula because I'm familiar with that. This, I've played with this one of the liquid blushes and I thought it was quite good, and very little goes a long way, even for a shade that looks kind of soft and subtle like that. But I might use like a dab of that and maybe a dab of this berry today. Again, these are called lip and cheek, so you could use them for some lip color too. I'm gonna put one small dot on each side, and I want you to see how far that goes. 'Cause roses wither away. One little dot of a fairly soft looking blush. It didn't set too fast. I was able to dot that on here and it didn't just straight up stick, but just a little soft color. I mean, think what a swipe or a couple of dots would be. That would probably be about ideal for me if I had a little bit more of that. But that's good, right? That's neat. It's just pure color. It's not shimmer. And then I want to see some of this. That's why I kind of went pretty light with that last shade. Just a little bit of this berry. It's again called Berry True. Oh, that rosy cheek, think Natasha Denona berry blush. Honestly, just sheared out and in a new texture. It really does make me think of that because you see a pinkiness as this shears out. I didn't want to let my dot sit too long over there just because I know things can happen, but wow, that's pretty. What do these even feel like on the lips? What if we take a little bit of this and just... They feel like kind of a matte lip cream type of deal. Kind of pillowy, soft feeling. Definitely not goopy, glossy, shiny. And I want to take a little bit of Bed of Roses and just like dab over top and just see what this does. This shade, I feel like it's going to be a soft blush, but for some reason I think it's going to offer more than meets the eye. Well, it just went over my cheek and made it look pretty much airbrushed now. That's pretty. I'm going to need to see it operate solo to really make a call on it, but so far there's something about a pretty matte blush that just really does take this area of the skin and makes it look really perfected. Love. Okay, I'm going to wipe this off because I think we're going to probably do some different lip stuff and I don't want that to totally set in. For highlighter, this is not new, but you'll see this among this kind of new packaging style. This highlighter stick called When the Nude Strikes is gorgeous. So if you haven't tried this yet, I mean, this is absolutely one of my favorite cream highlighters from the drugstore, period. I'm just dabbing a little bit on, like a light dab. It's not so goopy sticky that one little dab is gonna take you over. And then I think I'll just use my Sephora 56 to press it in. It's so natural looking, really brightening. You're not gonna see metallic bits of anything as part of that. But if you're getting into these sticks and you haven't tried these before, I love Where's Walnut as a contour. There are several different pretty blushes, including these 2 new shades, and definitely think about that highlighter stick. For brows, I don't actually have anything from Wet n Wild right now. I need to get a new Wet n Wild retractable brow pencil in Nice Ash, I guess. But I'll just go ahead and do the brows, take care of that step, and then we'll do eyes. Okay, brows are done. I just used my Skinny Elf pencil and NYX Control Freak. And then, guys, what have I done? What have I done? I've gotten a new eye primer. I'm not sure how new this is, but I guess I hadn't really taken note of this until I saw it on Walgreens' website. It's the Mega Last Eyeshadow Primer. It wore really well for me yesterday. It's kind of like Milani, but a little thicker. So I'm using about the same amount. We're going with it. We're going with it. It's smooth. It has that kind of like nude look, but it doesn't do a lot of covering on the lid. Maybe a teensy bit more coverage than Milani gives to your actual eyelid, but this is just a little bit thicker, you know? So I kind of dab it in and it does kind of grab the eyeshadow. And I gotta say, I had good all day, even looking like it did when I started type of staying power yesterday. I don't have a brand new eyeshadow thing from Wet n Wild, so I'm gonna pull out one of my Color Icon palettes here. This is the one called Petalette. I just haven't used this one a lot. You know, I've used Walking on Eggshells way more. I've used the Tin Pan Nude Awakening way more. So I just thought I'd go with this for a little quick Wet n Wild look today. I'm gonna go into this matte kind of taupe looking color and use that first in my crease. I love these Color Icon palettes so much. But yeah, let me know if you've seen those other eye palettes I was talking about earlier, the ones that are always something and there's like 2 different varieties. Let me know if you like those or if they feel like they're the same quality that's in these, because I may still go after one of those. This taupe has, I feel like, ever so slightly a little bit of lavender in it. Then I'm thinking, let's see some of this dark plum shimmer in the outer corner. By the way, everything but this has shimmer in this palette. So just a flat brush. It's interesting, the lip and cheek focus I feel like a lot of brands are having right now in terms of new things being launched. I do have a new eye palette from Essence that I found on Ulta's website, and it's kind of large and I feel like it's quite good. I'm just slowly building this shade up, guys. I don't want to be overwhelmed with fallout or just too much shadow in one place, so you know how I like to do, a little at a time. And then I would like to take my small pointed brush with the same shade and tap off any excess and just really target that crease, that outer part of my crease with this plum. Right into the crease, but then you know we like to have that lift. So I'm feeling that little circular motion going just upward. See that? Nice and easy. Then I know this shade looks super shimmery, but what if we got a little bit of that on the crease brush and let that kind of come to play up above? Because I feel like, I can see a little rosy pigment out of that. That's pretty. I haven't used this palette a whole lot, you know? And I'm liking it. Do you guys have any favorite like little Wet n Wild Color Icon palettes that maybe don't get talked about quite as much? I also like the Tin Pan that has the dark forest green in there. I think that's very pretty as well. Ooh, I'm loving the way that kind of unexpectedly softened things out a bit. And then I would like to see some lilac come in on my lid. Lilac. Super duper brightening. That shade is brightening enough to like go around your inner corner as well. And then you still have this shade at the end, which is kind of sheer, actually. A little more sheer than I thought it was going to be. I'm thinking I'd like a little bit of that plum to also go under the eye. And I realize, yeah, this may not last as well as a shadow stick, but I'm really just trying to work it in there, get a little bit on my brush. I feel like if you don't work with too much excess down on that lower lash line, you can still have good staying power. I feel myself connecting a bit to the shape of the outside there, and then just pull it down under about halfway. Pretty. I don't have a new Wet n Wild mascara. I'm not really feeling like I need eyeliner with this look. I feel like lashes would pop pretty well with this light lid backdrop. I'm just gonna pop on this CoverGirl Cleantopia and I'll be right back. Okay, so here we are now with my mascara on, and this is the CoverGirl Cleantopia. I really like this for like a big lash look. I think it does rather well. And then we got several different lip things to talk about. I noticed there were a couple of new lip liners in this pink packaging. It's still their Perfect Pout Gel Lip Liner, but there's a couple of new shades, and one of them is the shade called Comes Naturally, and there was another one that was more reddish or berry. I'm just gonna pop this on. I may not leave this on. It feels like kind of a soft, light, warm pink almost, with some nude. I do love the way these glide on, by the way. There's a shade called Bear to Comment that I really, really like. But see how this shade is like the softest of pinks? I don't know. I don't feel like I would use this one a lot, honestly. I'm not wild about this color, but you know, it could mix in with other things. Another new lip thing, I'll try this on before I get a lot of color going on my lips. I feel like there are some new shades in this MegaSlicks line, including this one called Snuggle Sesh, and it's like a light, creamy looking shade with a little bit of shimmer. Let's just pop it on. Again, I wiped off that lip liner, so you can just see the pure color. That's pretty on its own, actually. I'm kind of surprised it's so pretty on its own. What is it with the lifter glosses making every other gloss applicator feel so small? So small. All the country divas are coming out today. I like that shade. Honestly, for it to look that good and not milky streaky on its own, I like that, and I feel like I would love it as an accent to some other lip liners and lipsticks that I have. Snuggle Sesh, that's good. As far as these lips go so far, I'm a no on the lip liner, but I'm a yes on that gloss. Then we have a whole new formula here called Soft Blur Matte Lipstick. So it's packaged like this. I got the shade called I'm Shy, and the lipstick is cut kind of like their Mega Last lipsticks. And you put it on, and it does have kind of like a dry velvety feel, you know what I mean? You're not feeling creamy, sticky. She's back. Not till you go downstairs. Actually loving. Look at this soft red. Look at this pillowy lip. I mean, it doesn't feel rich with moisture, but I think that's not the point, you know? It's just supposed to be that kind of blurred, soft. It looks like a stained lip. I love that. I absolutely love that soft reddish shade that this is giving me, 100%. That's cool. And it smells like vanilla cake frosting. Yeah, I'm into that. I would try more shades in that, but honestly, this shade right here is everything. What it's giving is the look of naturally pigmented lips. Like a person who was just blessed with a really naturally rosy lips. I love. And then lastly, lip-wise, I think they're redoing their cheap lipsticks. Like the $2-ish lipsticks, I think they're redoing those. They're calling them Rich Satin now. They're putting them in nude packaging, and I got two different shades of this. I got Disco Rose, and I got Hush Lil Beige. So let's try the beige one here. It looks kind of brownish. Let's see what she looks like. Ooh, creamy. Classic cream lipstick. That shade is a definite big time yes. If you're wanting neutral but kind of like cooler brown. Really like it with today's look too. That's great. Might come back to that and pop that on again. Thank you, lips, for withstanding this try on. And then this is Disco Rose. This looks like it has a little shimmer. Ooh, can you see the shine? She's frosty. Frosty pink. I mean, it feels like old school. It feels like something I could have found from this range back when I was in high school or something. I'm not over the moon with this just on its own, but I feel like I could like it in combination maybe with a little deeper lip liner or something. I'm not leaving that on for the day. What I would like to see is this beige one and then the gloss on top of this and see what that does. This is just creamy, no shimmer. Love the shade. Popping on this. Ooh, that's a cute combination. Ew, look at that. A stopper did not Stop. Has that ever happened to you with a lip gloss? You gotta push down as you pull it out. Then you'll be fine. That is such a pretty nude lip, the combination of those two. I thought that would be good. Okay, overall thoughts on everything. I feel like this is gonna be sort of a to be continued type of thing because I need to wear it some more to really know what I think. But as of right now, I do like the look on my skin. I feel like that light to medium coverage is good for me. The consistency was easy enough to blend in. It offered a little moisture, but it wasn't overly glowy. So I could see it working for quite a few skin types potentially. So I'm gonna keep working with this. I'm also feeling so far so good on the primer sticks. These I've played with in a couple different ways. I love this cooling eye stick. That just felt really good on the under eye area and it's just like that stick from Tula. Definitely feeling good about these different blushes that I got. I'll make sure I work these into a future video, but these are little goes a long way, very pigmented yet easy to blend liquid blushes, but they can also double on the lips and be kind of a matte cream lip. Pumped about new shades of Color Icon blushes. I feel like it's been a long time coming. We haven't seen anything new in this range in a while. I'm excited that they're expanding this range as well. Not in love with this new lip liner, as I said, but really into this soft blur in the shade I'm Shy for that natural rosy lip look. Hush Little Beige is a thumbs up. This Snuggle Sesh lip gloss, I think that lip combo is gorgeous. So I think that covers about everything that was new in this video. Oh, the eye primer. So far so good on that as well. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this roundup of new Wet n Wild. Let me know if you've seen any other new things that I may have missed in this video, and I will talk to you all again very soon. I love you. Bye.